See, yeah, this is your political agenda. You know what? We don't care.
That's Donald Trump. That's Donald Trump's mailing.
Why would you saddle Donald Trump with this terrible spending bill? We need to have a serious look at who's leading this Congress, because if this is the best they can do, I mean, it's total incompetence. This is a disaster.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Uh-oh, dare we say trouble in paradise? Here I thought we were told after Trump won, all the far-right chips would just fall in place and suddenly the price of eggs would be near zero.
This is not like one of the most senior members, right? So basically he had not burned enough bridges, and so they had to go way, way down in seniority to find someone that they could come to a consensus on. When they swear in January, or when we all try to swear in January, listen, there's going to be less Republicans than we had in the 118th, right? Because the story has not really been told about how strongly House Democrats performed while the Republicans won the White House, while they ended up picking up so many seats in the Senate. You know who lost seats? The House, right? Now, should we have a Speaker Jeffries? Absolutely. If North Carolina didn't cheat and take away our seats, we would have a Speaker Jeffries, and we would not be in this situation. But here's the deal. There is no fixing this without the Democrats. We have seen this over and over, and I'm just going to sit back and sip my tea and wait on them to figure it out.
Or maybe sip something stronger. I'm just saying it.
Trump hasn't even started packing yet as he ventures to the White House for a second term, and Republicans are already in turmoil, going as far to question the leadership of MAGA Mike on Fox News, of all places. Senator Josh Hawley unleashed a tirade on the right-wing network, demanding to know, quote, why would you saddle Donald Trump with this terrible spending bill before he even gets in office? It dumps it right back in his lap in March, he said.
Why would you saddle Donald Trump with this terrible spending bill before he even gets into office? And Sean, the worst part is it dumps it right back in his lap in March. In March, under this bill, they'd shut the government down again, have to do this all over again, have to raise the debt ceiling again later the same year. It's ridiculous. It's a horrible plan. I can't believe that Republican leadership ever cooked it up. Clearly, they didn't talk to Trump about it. And I tell you what, we need to have a serious look at who's leading this Congress, because if this is the best they can do, I mean, it's total incompetence. This is a disaster.
Hawley is referring to Johnson's now ill-fated temporary spending bill, which would have funded the federal government through mid-March, a fact that didn't sit well with Hawley. Among the inclusions in the funding bill, about $100 billion in hurricane relief and $10 billion in assistance for farmers. It also includes provisions to hand over control of Robert F. Kennedy Memorial Stadium to Washington, D.C. and enable the city to negotiate to return the Washington Commanders back to the nation's capital. Now, the bill imploded yesterday after a push from President-elect Elon Musk. Donald Trump, of course.
I was literally moments ago in an elevator with some Republican members who are fuming about the fact that Musk is inserting himself into this conversation, and that the threats over Twitter, X, the threats over X, to primary them, to come after them, so privately at least, they've had it. They've had it with people like Musk, who think that they have the right to insert themselves into a process of elected officials. We've all been elected to represent our constituents, to try to represent them. He is not elected. I just want to remind everybody of that. He may be a very wealthy person, but he's been elected to nothing.
Donald Trump is asking you to do him a big favor. Would you please raise the debt ceiling for him right now so that he can give those tax cuts to Elon Musk and other billionaires next year?
Well, Lawrence, I think you have it just half a click off. It's not Donald Trump asking for this. It's very clearly President Elon Musk asking for this. The fact that Donald Trump has been completely AWOL during these negotiations, to the point where only after Elon Musk publicly tweets about his displeasure and about this budget deal, all of a sudden, Donald Trump, chief of staff to Elon Musk, comes trotting in and blows up the deal. And let's be very clear. This means that what Elon Musk and Donald Trump are doing is likely at this point to shut the government down over Christmas.
But the thing is, what does it say about a political party that is set to hold, albeit a slim majority in House, Senate, and of course, the White House, that they're already at each other's throats?
House Republicans, House Democrats, Senate Republicans, and Senate Democrats reached a bipartisan agreement to fund the government, keep it open, and meet the needs of the American people. We reached a bipartisan agreement to provide disaster assistance to everyday Americans whose lives have been upended and turned upside down as a result of hurricanes, tornadoes, wildfires, floods, and other types of extreme weather events. We reached a bipartisan agreement to meet the needs of the American people and provide assistance to farmers, families, children, seniors, veterans, men and women in uniform, and working class Americans. House Republicans have now unilaterally decided to break a bipartisan agreement that they made. House Republicans have been ordered to shut down the government and hurt everyday Americans all across this country. House Republicans will now own any harm that is visited upon the American people that results from a government shutdown or worse. An agreement is an agreement. It was bipartisan, and there is nothing more to say.
To the point that Republican outgoing leader Senator Mitch McConnell even said there's more to come, venting his frustrations after Donald Trump threw the late-night spending bill into turmoil, saying, and I quote, "This is the way it's going to be next year." And lucky for us, we are just all along for the ride.
Hey everybody, Congressman Maxwell Frost here, and wow, I am here to talk about the chaos that's going on right now here in Washington, D.C. For people who don't know, tomorrow, Friday evening, the government is set to shut down unless Congress passes a bill to fund the government for the next few months. And there was a bill that came out this morning, bipartisan, had support from Democrats and Republicans, and we were supposed to pass it actually right now. We're supposed to be voting on it. A few hours before, Elon Musk, the billionaire, not an elected person, just a rich guy who spent hundreds of millions of dollars to get Donald Trump elected, and he bought influence. Elon Musk comes out and says, you know what, I don't like it. I don't like the bill. Get rid of it. I don't want it. And little by little, a bunch of Republicans, because they're scared of this billionaire, came out and said, I agree with him. I hate it. And then Donald Trump comes out and says, I hate it. Let's do another bill. Let's do something else. Granted, we are about 24 hours out from the government shutting down. The day before, these people, this billionaire who has bought influence with money, comes out and says, I don't like it because it doesn't cut enough benefits from working families. And so now we're at this standstill. It's all this chaos now. You know, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, is probably behind locked doors trying to figure out what the hell to do because he doesn't have his own people in check. And so we'll keep you all updated on what's going on. But the fact of the matter is that if the government shuts down, it impacts working people. The TSA agents will not get their paychecks while the government shut down. Soldiers, people in the military won't get their paychecks while the government shuts down. A lot of services stop. And not just that, but this bill had money for hurricane relief and had stuff for disaster relief that we need in Florida right now. We just got hit by so many hurricanes. Asheville, North Carolina. And so they're really messing with the resources for working people because a damn billionaire spent hundreds of millions of dollars because he wants to run this country and run this government. So I'll keep you all updated, but we're not going to move an inch. We're not going to vote for something that's going to take away essential services. That's going to take away $6 a day in SNAP benefits from a mother in Orlando, Florida. We're not going to vote to take away benefits, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. These things are a fact of life and something that all Americans deserve and that they've earned. And we're going to keep fighting.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.